three films trying to decide what to do. And this one caught my attention the first time I watched it. I watched it again yesterday, and I know nobody will, but it really even makes more sense the second watching.
Had you not seen it before?
No, never had. Just saw it in a couple lists of documentaries, and seemed like the other ones I looked at, I told you last week, looked at Crumb and some other ones, and I thought this was an interesting directorial movie.
And so all the people that she interviewed, those are the actual people. They're not characters. They're not actors playing those folks, right?
It's both. So all the people were real in some aspect of the movie. All her four brothers and sisters and stepbrothers and sisters, dad, Harry Gulkin, Bob the doctor, her brother, Diane's brother. All those are real people. But I don't know if anybody's looked into this a little bit, but they have some family Super 8 movies because, as Michael said in part of the movie, he got a camera and he was filming stuff. But then that's how Sarah Polley filmed it in Super 8 and did some stuff to it to make it look old. And so there are actual actors that represented Diane at different points in her life that weren't recorded, and Dad and Harry. They all had actors cast in roles for different parts of it, which I thought was interesting. The Super 8 blew me away. The filming it in Super 8, 20, 30 years after she passed away. This film came out in Canada in 2012 and in the US in 2013. Are we waiting on Arthur or anybody?
Nope.
Okay.
No, keep going.
We're rolling.
So the Canadians loved it. In fact, it was voted into their top 10 feature films of all time at number 10. It wasn't a big box office thing. It generated 2.6 million worldwide, 1.6 million in the US, 1 million in Canada and elsewhere. So it didn't really generate a lot of interest, and it may not with you guys. I'm just hoping not to be doing bird calls at the end of this. So
Pete's
I did
never
think it
gonna
was-
live that one down.
yeah, I know.
It does have a shelf life.
He got
well,
tonight. Has he got next?
huh?
Yeah, Pete picks tonight.
Oh boy.
No pressure, Pete.
I only got one way to go.
So while this was a documentary, it really seemed to me to be a story about Sarah's background, the director and the youngster. She was just 11 when her mom passed away. It was really more about fleshing out her life, I thought, as much as it was her mom's. Now, her mom was clearly the center of all the things as a way to tell a story. I also thought it was interesting at the end, you learned that not only did Sarah Polley write a 300-page script for this, but her dad wrote one and Harry wrote one. I don't know that they melded them. I don't know how that came together, but what we see is what we got. This film was also shortlisted for the 2013 Academy Award for Best Documentary Feature. They shortlist 15. They only picked 5 to get nominated to go up for the award, so it didn't make that cut. But some have found it interesting. And again, I thought it was a directorial adventure just to kind of watch how she did it. She set Dad up to narrate the whole thing, and filmed him, the use of family film, Super 8 recreations, and ways, like I said last week, a lot of this starts out like a game of telephone when you're in fourth grade, and you tell a story over here, and how it ends up over here is kind of how Mark and Joanne, the various siblings, remembered mom, and how some of them kept secrets, like mom's affair, for many, many years. And then how open, apparently, their after death dinners at home became. They told a lot of stories. They made fun of Sarah not having the same hair color, features, that sort of thing. But Sarah Polley has done a lot of movies. She did a movie that Julie Christie got an Academy Award for. She did one with Seth Rogen and somebody else. So she's done some major directing and acting. She's acted since she was 4 years old. So I thought she was worth a tell.
She did Women Talking.
No. Her cinematographer, I think, did Women Talking.
Says she was the director, writer.
Sarah Polley?
I think I remember that too. Now
I don't know that.
Yeah, Women Talking. It was up for Academy Award this year.
Sure. Yeah, I think we watched it. Or at least I saw it at the theater
I saw it.
with Frances McDormand.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I didn't know she did that. I missed that.
That's a biggie.
Yeah.
Sort of
So
take this waltz away from her. She's acted a lot too.
yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I saw her IMDb, but I didn't pick that one up. So who thought it was interesting? Who thought it was a bird call?
Where's Whitaker so we can talk about Moonstruck?
What was that movie?
Moonstruck.
Yeah,
Moonstruck.
there you go. There you go. Thank you.
Yeah.
I was talking to somebody, Pat Cassidy, Mahoney, and Bill know him. And I was talking about the league, and I was telling him about it. I said, this was my Moonstruck, the big year.
This
Well,
may be.
I'll start. I mean, and it could have been the hour at which I was watching it. I did find myself kind of dozing off a few times. I will say this. I like the character. I like Diane. I thought she was I would have liked to have gotten, I'd have liked to hung around with her. She looked like she was a hell of a lot of fun. Seriously.
Absolutely.
So I like the subject matter very much. But I had a hard time, and again, maybe it was just too late when I was watching this. I had a hard time just hanging in there with it.
I agree. It's fairly slow moving and developing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched it over 2 periods of time, and I don't know. I mean, I was just the whole time I was watching it, I was trying to figure out the meaning of the title and all that. And I don't know that I really got it until the very end when the other man came in and said, "Oh yeah, that I did have that affair with your mom, that affair with your mom." And I thought, well, yeah, that would bring in a whole new perspective, it's, but I didn't know that all these portions of it had been manipulated. I thought it was all pretty.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, how does everyone feel about that? Do you feel deceived by that, or do you think it enhanced it?
You mean the fact that she learned that her father was not?
No, I think you mean the Super 8 recreations.
No, Mike was telling us before you came in, Pete, that there were several recreations
Oh, right.
along the way with different actors playing Diane, different actors playing the different people even. And so there were actors, there were real people, there was old Super 8, but it all was kind of mixed together.
Well, I did hear him say that, and that was lost on me. I didn't pick up on that. I thought everything was authentic Super 8 footage,
Family
quite
movie.
honest.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Well,
I
was
wondered
watching-
how they did it.
Go ahead.
Yeah, it crossed my mind. How did they do this? Who was filming all those family events back when the children were young and they're playing and they're at the beach and what have you? I did wonder about that a little bit, but yeah, I'm sorry, Mike, but it kind of dragged for me as well.
Yeah, sure. I get it.
Yeah.
I was doing the nerdy thing of watching the credits, and I realized that there are all these actors playing people on the movie, and I thought, wait a minute, that it occurred to me, okay, something else has happened here, because I didn't know what those people looked like when they were younger.
Right.
Very hard to differentiate that. They did a pretty good job of selecting actors to look like those people would have looked earlier on. So I felt deceived a little bit, but then I thought this is really kind of a clever way of doing this and telling the whole story. And I guess artistic license comes into play here, where she gets to do that if that makes the story work better for her. So I thought end point is, I think it was really a clever thing to do. I had to laugh at some of the characters, though. I mean, they were like crusty as can be, and Harry was like Einstein Jr. or something.
Yeah.
I think
They kind of showed at the end of the movie scenes with him being made up and stuff like that.
Yeah.
The actor, him being made up. So
Yeah. The whole concept of how the story comes out, though, and how people think they understand what's going on, and then they find out something completely different, and they think about it for a while and say, well, but that's not how we lived. We lived as father and daughter, so we are father and daughter as far as I'm concerned. So I don't care about the biology in here. It's probably okay for me to know this. It doesn't crush me, but at the same time, it's important for me to know it. Thanks for being honest. And it explained some of the sort of the mismatch of appearance and color, hair, and so forth. But it didn't really change a lot in some of the critical relationships, and I thought that was a good point.
I think her brothers and sisters all accepted it for what it was, and perhaps even needled her about it, knowing something like that had gone on, just knowing their mom.
Yeah.
Well,
mean-
Jeff stole my thunder. I was going to say she should have been excited to realize that Einstein was her real father.
Sorry, you couched it much better.
By the way,
terms
did you
than I
know that Einstein had an illegitimate child?
No,
Guess nobody knew that.
I didn't know he
Yeah.
had a legitimate child.
You could say, go figure.
Yeah, go figure. Okay, I want everyone to repeat in sequence, Jeff Bowes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy, that poor man.
Yeah, but then at the end, you say, "Well, I did sleep." with
Well,
her."
I did. Yeah.
I think he just I just think he did that to be in the movie. Okay, Mahoney, what do you got?
Yeah, I liked it a lot more than what I thought I would. I come down and Dr. Copeland here touched on this. I come down on the side of her familiar father. I don't think it changed the dynamics appreciably, or his love for his daughter, or her love for him, or her siblings affection for her at all. I'm a little judgmental and fairly harsh about the reckless nature of Diane in this, although I can't say I'm surprised of that turn. I think I think Michael needs to be applauded for continuing to love her and maintain, a father-daughter relationship, which I don't think was really hard to do because he already had that established with her before all of this. Matson, do you think that the bar scenes in Montreal were part of the Super 8 recreations?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. And so I'm in the corner of Michael on this. I think he's to be commended for maintaining the love for his daughter. I think there are some people that would handle it much differently, much more harshly. I think those would be short-sighted people. But I'm from Michael in this thing, and I'm glad he rolled with it the way he did. And I thought it was a pretty interesting movie, a really interesting take on it.
Benson, what do you think Sarah was trying to do?
Huh?
I was talking to the other Michael. I was asking Matson what the director was trying to do. Was she really trying to piece all this together? Or did she already have all the pieces? And
I think when she wrote it, she knew.
Yeah.
I think she knew how it was going to go, and she'd never done a documentary before. And one of the things I've looked up and said is that she did a 300-page script for it. And she was really worried about the idea of not being able to control everything like she does in a feature film. So, because she knew what was going to happen, she didn't know how the brothers and sisters were going to spew their take about it. And some of the things with Harry. Now, she'd been through all that with the paternity test and all that stuff. So she kind of knew how he was, but I really think it was just an interesting story to her. I don't know that there's any life lesson really other than what Mahoney said about, hey, her biological dad just accepted that he loved her and that was enough for him. And I think it was frankly creative to reuse the Super 8 movie with actors recreating those scenes that she and the family all knew about. I thought when I got done with it the first time and I started reading some stuff online, I didn't know it the first time. I didn't catch it. I thought kind of like Chris, I don't know how they could do that, but I was willing to let it go for a little while till I read some more. Then recreating it with Super 8, I just thought that was cool.
Mike, I take issue with some of what you said there. If she had a 300-page treatment of this, I am sure that she sat down, as I think any documentarian would do, and certainly with your own family. She probably had a pretty good idea of what people were going to say before she even rolled a frame on this, and was probably true for everybody else in this thing. I think what she was doing on it was recreating what she had discovered. I don't think there were that many loose ends when it came to rolling film on this.
That may well be, and it could be that her brother and sister and stepbrother and sister were scripted. I don't know that.
Well, then if that's the case, then it's not really a documentary.
Yeah, exactly.
I thought Harry kind of laid her back a bit when he said, "You're not getting anywhere close to a documentary on this." There's only so many people that know about this. Your mother, me, you know, everybody else, everybody else has heard something about it, and that's all secondhand, and that's not going to work.
Mhm.
And I was kind of thrown back at that. I thought he would be a little nicer about the whole process too, you know, what she was trying to. He was immediately saying, "I'm going to write what happened." Well, she's talking to him. He's writing his own script.
Uh-huh. I think they all saw a story there. I just, yeah, no, I just think it was a different role, a different movie rather, not a different role. Deceptive, maybe. But anyway, I found it interesting how she brought the whole thing off. Not to me, not so much the story or who it was about. Although that one thing, there was a newspaper article in there about how Diane had lost her kids. She was the first woman in Canada to have ever lost custody of her children because of her affair with Mick or Michael.
Yeah, that seemed to come out of left field to
Yeah.
me. On it, I mean, it was in there. They mentioned it, and then they simply, moved on.
Moved on, yeah. But that was real.
Well, I'm kind of captured by the discussion about deception in this. And God knows we've seen a bunch of movies where deception was the whole gig of the movie. It was to trick you and confuse you and to surprise you at the end and everything. So is this really a lot different than that? I mean, she was making a movie. And
Mhm.
if she could convince you that it was a documentary, she did that. And if she didn't, it was because you were investigating and thinking about it like some people can think about a plot in a movie and they unravel it before it happens. I think that maybe deception is an okay thing for them to do because they're making a movie.
Yeah. I
Look at
certainly
Spinal
think
Tap. That wasn't
Okay,
really a
guys.
documentary, I don't think.
So is it a
I gotta
mockumentary?
go.
All
I
right.
gotta go pick up my friends at the airport.
All right, Terry, see you later.
Terry.
Okay, see you later.
Halloween.
All right, later.
Bye.
Where is he?
In the end, did Michael believe that she wasn't his daughter? I mean, did they really tie up all the loose ends? Because they had that final character and he said, well, I did have that affair with your mom. So I do sort of remember somebody saying somewhere
Well,
99.
that was, like Terry said, that was that Tom Bose or whatever his name was.
Jeff.
But they proved it with paternity. Okay. I think they proved it with paternity on Harry.
Oh, yeah, right.
They said they did.
I never saw that document. Did they show that document? This is a documentary, right? With documents.
Right. What was my
The line between documentary and reality is just gone, I think. It used to be, it was pretty, well drawn. And when you're talking about the Civil War and you've got reenactors doing it, you don't really need something that says reenactors did this. But in the early days of documentaries, like CBS reports and that sort of thing, I don't think they would have tolerated any of this stuff. But it's gone a long way, like you say, Jeff.
There's a lot of artistic license.
So is there a big shift in journalistic ethics that makes this possible, or is it just the way society in general views this kind of work, or what do you journalists think about this?
I don't think it's journalism. I think it's movie making. Especially with your line of thinking here about deception in this. Now, I mean, you can tell a story in a documentary that has twists and turns in it. It happens all the time. In fact, I think probably the best ones contain that element in it. But I mean, this is a filmmaker using the vehicle of the documentary style and recreating some stuff using some actors. Yeah, I don't think this is I don't think this is I don't think this is a journalism project at all. It's a movie
Right.
project.
But taking Mike Sanders' comment about how it's the definition of a documentary has drifted, is that something that's changed in journalism, or is that, I mean, this is a specific instance of something, but in a general way, have documentaries changed?
Well, and her movie's classified as a documentary. I mean, I don't know how Hollywood award people do that, or if it even matters.
Is it called a documentary on, Wikipedia or IMDF or any of that?
That's the list that I got it from, was a list of documentaries. So blame the New York Times or
Yeah,
Well,
taking
you
numbers
said
on
it was
that.
on a short list of, you said it was on a short list of documentaries. It didn't make the final cut, but it was on a list of documentaries.
for the
to be
Academy
considered
Awards.
For the Academy Awards. I mean,
Yeah.
I think the fact that the subject matter is her own family kind of is what makes it somewhat of a documentary, you know what I
think
mean?
because it's about a real person, Diane, at the heart of it. That's maybe how it gets there. But I totally agree that it's more a movie making drama than it is traditional documentary. It doesn't have who's our English buddy who shoots the nature ones.
Attenborough?
Yeah, Richard Attenborough.
Yeah.
Or David, yeah.
David, thank you. Yeah.
Well, I
Following
mean,
cheetahs were actors in this scene.
Yeah.
well, even
But
if you
actors
have
playing real people, kind of like the Civil War reenactors.
Yeah, but if you can have pure documentaries that involve real people and have real characters and also have a point of view. And the one I'm thinking of right off the top of my head, and I'm not going to remember the full name of it, but it was a documentary in the 1970s about coal miner strikes in West Virginia that I think a lot of us have seen. It's Raintree County or something like that. This was a small documentary crew that covered a strike by United Mine Workers in, I believe, West Virginia that lasted a year or so. And you definitely had a point of view. They were advocates for the miners. And so, I mean, docs can have points of view. A lot of them do. And then,
Like
some of
Moore?
the, pardon me?
Like Michael Moore.
Yeah. Like Michael Moore, he'd be a good example of it. And then this Raintree County thing that I'm thinking about. And then there are things like, what Sanders pointed out, CBS Reports, which is much more of a straight old style, here's the facts sort of thing. So, I mean, documentaries can have points of view and use movie making techniques and that sort of stuff. But I think this was more of a filmmaking venture in the documentary vehicle rather than a documentary as a film.
Mhm.
Yes, but Hollywood saw it as a documentary just for its listing purposes.
Yeah, I know, I get that.
Or it could have been that it made the short list, but when they looked further into it, they threw it out because it wasn't really a documentary.
Could be.
It could be, I don't know.
So we're here beating a dead horse 3 years later, right?
Well, I appreciate you guys watching it. It was a different take on a variety of things, apparently. Documentaries, family relations, whatever. Jeff Arthur, what'd you think?
I enjoyed it a lot. I think you guys discussed it, and by the way, I apologize. I was quite a bit late. I was working late and just realized it was after 5. But so yeah, I don't know, maybe I'm just dumb, but I didn't realize that all that footage was created. Because I was thinking to myself, where did they get all this footage? I mean, who would have taken this
Like
footage of
Chris.
her talking on the phone?
Yeah.
It wasn't until almost the end I figured it out. It was all actors. So I felt kind of dumb about that, but I enjoyed it a lot. Yeah, it was good.
So the picture behind me of her on the beach, is that her or an actress?
That one I think is her.
Okay.
I think Michael said he took pictures, and I think some of it, and to me, there was a slight difference between real Diane and the actress Diane, a little bit. But all the Diane Montreal, that's all actress.
Oh,
There were scenes where she's at a party and she's dancing. It kind of reminded me of a Laugh-In where they're at the party and Goldie Hawn and all that. That's kind of what she reminded me of. Was that an actress's? Was that an actress doing all that?
I don't know. I think some of that was real. Now, the ones that weren't real, they got to that part of the story where they met. She was already married. They met at that party. They're sitting there having a smoke, and they're going to go home with each other. Actors. So
Yeah.
And then, you're talking about watching the credits, Jeff, Jeff with a J. I saw in the credits casting by,
Yeah.
and I went, oh, wait a second. That's when it hit me. I wasn't really paying attention to the credits as they were going by, but I saw the casting listings and I went, oh, wait a second, back it up.
Easiest job in the world.
What, watching the credits or casting?
No, casting if it's all the real people.
Oh, I see. But it wasn't the real people.
No, I know. Yeah.
so Mike, you said that all the footage in Montreal was fake,
yeah,
but
that was a fake Harry.
that was a fake Harry.
Yeah,
Oh, jeez.
the only real Harry is the old guy.
When at the beginning when she brings him into the studio to gives him what he's got to read, that was real Harry. Yeah, at the very beginning.
Oh yeah,
No,
yeah.
no, that's her father. That's her father.
That's Michael.
Michael.
Yeah.
Harry's the Einstein-looking guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, the guy
He said he had
behind
to
Bill.
go to the bathroom first.
Okay, Einstein was
Was the
Biological
biological father.
Biological father. But some of his earlier shots was a fake guy. Because they were trying to show somebody.
We've stumped Pete. Hey,
This guy
you
up
know
here.
what?
is real
I'm gonna
dad.
watch this earlier in the. I'm gonna watch
Family
this
dad.
again earlier in the day.
Chris, what'd you think of it?
I think I've already said my piece about it.
Yep.
I was kind of like Pete, it's hard to stay awake in a few areas, but I just didn't really understand the necessity for making it. Why? Why did she want to do this? What was the impetus? Were the siblings really behind her? We know her stepdad was. He was totally behind her because he was the one reading the whole story and she would correct him and all that. But I don't know, I guess I just didn't get it.
Okay, at the risk of being a complete idiot, at the very beginning, when she walks the guy into the studio, that's her actual father or
Yes.
the guy
Actual
who
father.
thought she was.
Actual non-biological father.
Okay, yeah,
It's
yeah.
her
Married to Diane.
stepdad.
Yeah.
Einstein
Thank
was
you.
her birth father, yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Okay.
And
And
he had that.
This guy, right? Her
He said, start at the beginning and tell me everything that went on. He goes, I got to take a pee.
Yeah. That's her birth father.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. I'm with you. All right. Okay.
So
Montreal actors.
is Michael, is he casted as a character too? Or is he always shown?
Yes.
Yes. What's that
Yes.
mean?
I think there's an actor for him in some places, in some of the recreated Super 8 movies.
Mm. Yeah, there would have to be to,
Yeah.
have the younger
that
Younger
age
Michael.
range, or how long? All the shots at the end are him in real time, in real person. And that's why in the credits, it lists the storytellers, which are Michael and the 4 siblings or half siblings. The 2 older kids, siblings, are from that first dad who she left or was forced to leave. I don't know, whatever happened there.
Well, I still say she looked like she'd been a fun gal to party with. That's all I know.
Whether she was an actor or not, yeah. No, it's the stories it's the stories we tell. I mean, I think it's that simple. It's the oldest, plea of humanity. Tell me a story, and so she proceeds to do it. And she uses herself as a vehicle to launch the whole thing and get it going.
And again, that's why in the credits, those first 5 people are called storytellers.
There you go. Well, good pick, Michael. I liked it.
Yeah.
Who's got next?
I do.
I think it's Mr. Pete.
So I came across this documentary about the making of The Big Year. And
Let's go for it.
Is it
Keep
the
digging,
road
Pete.
trip?
Keep digging, keep digging.
That's good because I didn't have much time to watch a movie next week.
do you want my pick?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
All right. I hope, and I don't know if this has been selected. I didn't, I haven't been here from the beginning. So assuming it hasn't been a movie, I would like to select The Road to Perdition with Tom Hanks and Paul Newman.
Bill, what do you think? Do we do that one?
I have a backup if we did. Actually,
I don't think it was the pick. It might have come up, but
I think it came up, but I don't think it was chosen.
Good.
Okay.
well then, if there's no objection, that's my pick for next week.
Where do you find that bad boy?
It's on Amazon. It's $3.99 Amazon, and I think the normal stuff.
Okay. Good deal.
I ran it. I don't see it even coming up as a other pick.
Yeah, I don't either. I don't think it's ever been. I don't think we may have talked
okay.
about it. Or
We've talked about it. I can recall hearing or talking about it at some point, but
Well,
sounds
I'm
good.
hoping for redemption. It's been a
You got
long
it.
9 weeks, and so
Get that
fingers
one
crossed.
behind you. That sounds good.
Well, have you seen this movie, Pete?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I and just for as an observation, I have never picked a movie I haven't watched ahead of time. And after The Big Year, I will never ever pick a movie I haven't. Although I did watch The Big Year, I failed miserably. But no, I've always any movie I've ever recommended, I saw it. Absolutely, yeah.
Me too, Pete. I do that too.
Well, I don't think it's a requirement.
No,
This is my own paranoia. But
what happens is, I don't know if you remember when I think it was Whitaker came up with what was the Batman that had the
Dark Knight.
Dark Knight. He saw it on some list as one of the greatest movies of the 21st century or something, or 20th. And then he recommended it. And then when he came time to talk about it, he said, "Oh my God, I couldn't believe how bad this movie was." I thought it was a great movie, and there was nothing to feel bad about it at all. But he himself didn't care for it, and so that's what happens when you haven't watched it before. You might
Better to pre-screen.
Yeah, better to pre-screen than to be caught with your panties down. Since
I respect all your time too much to just send you out in the darkness. I will always watch the movie ahead of time. Still, I will fail, but I will always watch the movie ahead of time.
Hey, has anybody? I'm going to see Killers of the Flower Moon tomorrow. Anybody seen that yet?
I haven't. I've read the book.
Yeah, I read the book too, but I'm just waiting.
Did I read that's a 4-hour movie?
Yeah, something
That's
like that.
3 something.
340.
Yeah.
It's 340. That's the bad
Okay.
part.
It's a Terry length movie.
Because Terry likes it.
Oh,
Oh, he loves
Yeah.
those long ones.
Wow. Good value.
There-
You could go see that and Oppenheimer, and that's the day.
yeah, there you go.
I've already
Oppenheimer
seen
was like
Oppenheimer, but
3 hours, right?
I know there's too much killing in this one for Terry, so.
Well, but it's realistic. It's like war, he might go for that. I don't know.
No.
I don't think
We'll
so.
have to wait and see.
There's an app or a website, and I can't remember the name of it right now, but it's something about when to go pee. And it tells you when, during the movie, you can get up to go to the bathroom and not miss anything.
There's an
These long, huh?
Wow.
There's an app for that?
Yeah, it's that or a website. I'll have to find it. My son looked it up when we went to see Oppenheimer. So we all knew when to get up and go to the bathroom. Oh, I can't find it. But
What the name is? It's like Go Now.
yeah, something like that. I don't know. I'll have to ask him. Let's see if I can text him real quick. I don't know if he's available.
Yeah, that'd be handy. I go at 12:30 tomorrow, so.
Oh. Let's see if I can find it.
Or they could go back to intermissions like Spartacus. Does Spartacus have an intermission?
Yeah.
Sure,
Yeah.
it does.
A lot of the
Ten
old,
Commandments.
Trying
older,
to sell-
longer movies did. Yeah.
Trying to sell concessions, you'd think they'd do that in a heartbeat.
Yeah. How the
Yeah.
West was one.
Right.
Talking to Pat Cassidy again for Mahoney and Barnhart, that we talk about seeing Ben-Hur on the big screen when we were young. Definitely intermission in that one.
Right.
So,
Did you see that at the Empire Theater in 70 millimeter?
I did see that at the Empire. Yes.
I did
Yes,
too.
I
That
did.
that was amazing. With those-
They made the mistake of letting my high school out to go see that movie. I was there I went to De La Salle, and the entire student body went to see Ben-Hur at the Empire Theater.
Really?
Well,
Was it Cinerama?
Probably Panorama. Wasn't like Panasonic had Panorama or something back in the day? I don't know.
I don't know.
I think it was Cinerama actually.
Was it?
Those curved screens were made to have 3 projectors,
Right.
and they
Yeah.
blended all together somehow.
Yeah,
And
that's how the West was one. There was a theater in Omaha that I saw that in. And it was built that way.
I used to have that on film, Jeff, and there was 8 reels.
Wow.
geez.
Wow.
okay, I got the name of that thing.
Go for
I
it.
guess there is an app, but it's called runp.com.
Yeah.
You
Oh,
can-
so you have to run to do it, huh?
It tells you when you can run to the bathroom real quick.
So this was
As
like when
long
there's
as-
a little lag in the movie?
Yes, yeah, you can go and come back and you're not gonna miss a thing, so.
Does it have like an age thing? So if you're of a certain age, you can't really make the window?
Well,
Yeah.
or does it give you 2 or 3 of those in the movie to go?
Yes, yes, it gives you several opportunities, because when we went to see Oppenheimer, he said, okay, no, we can go during this time, or we don't have to go, we can go then later on. It was rather comical, so runp.com.
There's some news you can use right there.
I will be on Run PCOM tomorrow.
Yeah.
You'll have to tell us next week what you think about it, Matt, and I'm sure a
Yeah,
lot
I'm
of
looking
folks
forward to it. I've wanted to see it for a long time.
Yeah, it's been
Yeah.
coming out for a long time.
I know, yeah, I don't know. They held it up, didn't they?
I think so.
Because of the actor strike?
It seemed like I
They were
saw,
going with it?
Yeah, they put it back a little bit, I think. But not too long.
I think Luann read the book some time ago and also liked it.
yeah, it's been 5 years at least.
Anybody else, since some of these guys are wanting to get back to the ball game?
I finished with soccer guy Beckham. That was good.
I've had 2 people tell me that is a really great series to watch.
Yeah, he's an interesting guy. I mean,
Yeah,
like
just
the
this weekend. So
a
2
phen-
people told me that.
phenom. You know, he's kind of a phenom. He was like they got him when he was like 12 years old, and Manchester signed him to a contract, and he just kind of developed into this player that could do anything really. I mean, I think he was the first professional player to score from beyond midline. Kind of propelled his career. But
Is that the halfway point of the field? I don't know.
beyond
Yes,
that,
it is.
depending on which way you're going.
Yeah, like the 3-point line.
Right. But yet they only gave it one.
Good one.
But yeah, it's good, and it's not that long. I mean, it's a 4-part series and all that, and I don't know. He stayed true to his wife, who was Posh Spice.
One of the Spice Girls. Yeah.
I mean, they're still together, so he's got these tattoos that go all up and down his neck, almost into his face. And I kept watching him during his career to see if when those tattoos showed up, but they never really showed up. He must have done all that after his career. But it was a good one. I guess that's all I did. Watch that series.
I'm
Anybody
pleased to report that I'm all caught up on the latest releases of the Great British Baking Show.
Hey,
You'll have to laugh.
that's a great show. My wife and I watched it.
I love it. I find it very entertaining.
What is it called?
The Great British Baking Show.
And why is it so good?
It's fun. It's fun.
It's just fun and funny.
Yeah.
It takes place somewhere in England, and these bakers are selected prior to, I don't know, if there's like a dozen of them or so. So
A
each
baker's
week,
dozen.
Yes.
how about no? A baker's dozen is 13. Yeah,
What's it on?
Well, Baloney Mahoney. Netflix.
Netflix. Yeah.
It's on
It's-
Netflix. It's been
Yeah.
on several years now that it
Yeah.
has been on, but there are 2 exceptional bakers that are the judges for it. Paul Hollywood and Prue, I can't think of Prue's last name. But they'll give the team an assignment, and there's usually 3 per episode, like they'll do a bread one. So 3 different things with bread, and get graded, and ultimately at the end of that episode, someone is named Star Baker and somebody else gets kicked off. So it's kind of fun. Some of them I think they just put in there just because they don't seem to be very good.
So is it an elimination? Or is
Yeah.
it-
Yeah.
It's kind of like Project Runway, which I hear is entertaining also.
all
I
right.
never watched that.
I'll probably watch. There's All the Light You Cannot See. Is that what it's called? All the Light I Cannot See. I read the book.
Yes. Yeah.
It's on. What's it on Netflix also? But I'll
You
probably
tell
watch it.
us.
It's a great book.
Anybody else?
I've got it. Did somebody else have one?
No.
Jeff? No? Okay, Jeff Arthur, I saw you lit up a minute ago. Did you have one?
No, somebody drove by in front of me. That's what.
Okay, I've got 4, but I'll go by them pretty quickly here. One of them is called, here's a documentary for you, Manson.
All right.
Blaze Foley, Duct Tape Messiah. This is it's a musical documentary on the man behind the legend, Blaze Foley, who was born in a treehouse, killed in a friend's living room, and kicked out of his own funeral. But now he's a bona fide country and Western legend, whose songs have been covered by Merle Haggard, John Prine, Willie Nelson, and Lyle Lovett. It's free on Tubi, Freevee, YouTube, and the Roku channel, and with ads. And the ads are buy the documentary, and you'll get 3 more hours of tape we didn't use. and it's available on to rent on Prime and Apple.
What'd you say it was? Blaze?
Yeah,
Foley?
Blaze Foley. That's a stage name he took. His real name was something else. Excuse me. Okay, the next one, The Covenant, it's Guy Ritchie's The Covenant. You may have seen this promoted on Amazon. It's a 2023 movie. It's an action adventure drama set in the Afghan War. It stars Jake Gyllenhaal and Dar Salaam. And Jake is a soldier who has an interpreter, which Dar plays, and he gets hurt, and Dar drags him over mountains to get him back to where he belongs, and Jake has to go back to get him. It's available on Prime with a subscription and available to rent. But it's just come out, so it's one of those rentals. It's like Vudu has it for $19.99. So I don't know if you want to do that. And then some others that I've had just I've been hanging on to. After Sun. You guys remember this from 2022? It's a story about a young girl who it's a coming of age drama where she contemplates the complex emotions she experienced during a vacation she shared with her father 2 decades in the past. So she navigates a blend of authentic and fabricated memories and tries to reconcile her understanding as her father as a familiar figure and as a stranger. But it's pretty good. And it's streaming on with a subscription on Paramount Plus and Showtime. It's also available to rent. And then for Halloween, here's my Halloween pick, Alien. You guys have probably all seen this. It's the sci-fi horror classic of a commercial spacecraft that encounters a deadly life form trying to investigate an unknown transmission. Stars Sigourney Weaver, Tom Skerritt, Yaphet Kotto, and Harry Dean Stanton. It's streaming with a subscription on Hulu and available to rent on 5 different.
Excellent movie. Excellent movie.
I
I
know
saw that at Indian Springs Theater when it came out on the big screen.
There you go. I remember
Excellent.
seeing it first at the big screen, and it was terrifying, really.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
How old is that, do you suppose?
79. It's a
Yeah.
long time. And then they had 3 sequels or something, and I didn't care for them. The original is the best. It runs right at 2 hours, so that's not bad.
It's phenomenal. Phenomenal.
All right.
Anybody not seen that one?
Yeah, I've seen it.
Has everybody
Yeah.
seen Alien?
I would
Everybody.
think, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
The
So there-
Nostromo, that's the ship, right? The Nostromo, I believe, is the.
I don't recall. I couldn't tell
Yeah.
you.
I think you're right. I think I'm right.
So we're on for next week. It's
Yeah, Halloween's the day after, isn't it?
day after, not a problem.
Right.
Oh, actually, I may be gone. I don't know. Yeah, we got to go to a wedding in Minneapolis next weekend.
Oh, okay.
I don't know when we're home.
And I think in another 3 or 4 months, Whitaker will be back.
Who?
Yeah.
Yeah. What third world country is he in?
Him and Bill Murray.
France. Oh,
No, he's in Portugal right now, I think.
oh,
And I wouldn't call that a shithole country. That's pretty nice from what I hear.
Yeah.
I thought he was just driving around the south of France on his own. That's the
They
last.
were, but then they got on a
Oh.
one of those Viking river ships and went over to Spain and Portugal.
Okay.
great
And then they
trip.
get on a kayak and come back across the Atlantic by themselves. At least that's what I heard. I don't know. It could
That'll
one
be
of those
that'll be
things.
another 4 months.
Right.
All right, guys, I'm gonna get out of here and go back to the baseball game.
Sounds good, man. Everybody take care. Have a good week.
Okay,
Yeah,
good
Have a
pick,
good
Ashton,
week.
good pick.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye.
Good job.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.